No.
Only because we need the computer to take this. Oh, wait, we're at 100%. It would be helpful if it shows you more than.
A little arrow going around its circle of death.
I don't know, something running that shows you how close you are.
I wonder who a Zoom user is.
Becky, I think that Nick Trink is going to be signing in maybe as a guest.
Oh, maybe he's Zoom user.
He might be.
Nate just got here. And Devin was first one here.
Moment.
I'm getting there.
I'm getting it.
Crash, so you have to give you another few minutes.
No, it's not gonna crash. Okay.
This area is very cool. Yeah, and the air conditioner was on just for a short time. It's not much cooler than it is normally. But I'll have the air conditioner going all night. To have it cooled off people. I don't know why, but I don't tend to need cool air as much. I usually I'll probably, if I get my air conditioner in, I'll probably use it this week once. I like airflow as much as possible.
Thank you.
See, in New Mexico, they use what they call swamp coolers a lot, which is a much nicer, lower cost solution. It just puts, humidity in the air and it cools it down, and so they're more affordable than air conditioning too. But you have to have the right climate. And then I'll make you calls. Let me get here. Can I tell people we have some computer problem that should be settled short, like in a minute or two. So please bear with us. Sorry. Yeah, you're coming. Yeah, there you are.
Oh, you can turn to face that. You're trying to use a conference.
Sorry, I can't get the mute to go. Here it is.
Now, let me put on our normal, new normal speaker setting. Did it hold on to? Oh, it held on to it. Rita, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wow, we can also hear you. I'm going to turn us down a little bit in the room. Okay. I think that's good. All right. All right, shall we call ourselves to order?
We shot.
Okay. So let's review the agenda. We're running a few minutes behind. I'm sorry, we had technical difficulties. So let me, yes, Becky?
On the agenda review, ECAC committee charge amendment is going to their committee and then will come back to us. So it's
So
not
no.
ready for us,
Okay.
for the select board.
And neither is the Google Calendar. That was my fault. I didn't get the instructions typed up this weekend.
Okay,
So we'll put it on the next one.
okay, both going forward.
Yeah. So then that makes the agenda public comment. Then we'll review 2 sets of minutes from April 9th and May 21st. Then review the police union contract. I'd like to, if it's okay with the other 2 select board members, move Devin's promotion up to after the contract. Is that okay, Rita?
Yes.
Thank you. Then we'll review the vote for the FY annual appointment list. Our letter from the select board to legislatures concerning the in-person, hybrid, and remote models of meetings. Open meeting law violation, response letter, FY25 town administrator goals and objectives, town administrator updates, and then the select board will go into an executive session for reason number 2. Is there anything else we need to add, Eric, Rita, Becky, or subtract?
What about the
No.
Lake Wyola Stormwater Task Force? Are we not doing that tonight?
No, it was in between the
I'm sorry.
police union contract that she
I
moved
missed that.
Devin's.
Okay.
I missed that.
Yeah.
That was my
And Jen is here.
okay, perfect. Anything else before we open it to public comment? Does anyone have public comment or would like to share? Please use your raised hand feature if you are in Zoom. We do have Tom with us here as a participant here in the room. Oh, Jennifer, I see your hand. You'll have to unmute yourself.
All right, I can't find the hand raising thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay.
I can tell you where it is. I can tell you where it is real quick. It's down on the bottom of your screen where it says reactions. If you hover, yep, it'll.
There it is. Okay.
There you go.
Reactions. Okay. Public comment is just, I hope that you all are aware of this really awful accident that happened on the lake on Saturday. These are our neighbors, and the young girl is doing okay, but seriously injured. And I'm hoping that the select board might think to have a public discussion at some point about boat speeds and regulation of them on the lake. I understand the environmental police have some jurisdiction too, but that's what I wanted to raise. Thank you.
Thank you. I do know that Kristen does have it handled with environmental police at this point, so we can't discuss further about the ongoing investigation. And so, is there any other public comment? No? Okay. Shall we go into reviewing our minutes from the 4th and the 21st? And with that, do I hear a motion to approve either one of those from someone?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of April 4th.
April 9th.
April 9th.
9th. I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Okay.
Sorry, Rita.
It says April 9th here. Yeah, April 9th.
Can I just make one very small, super small correction to that? Which says select board review, discussion topics, the word fees as a comma, fee, comma, S. I think it should just be fees, plural. That's my sense. See what I'm talking about?
Discussion topics, I see fees, F-E-E-S down here, where is it?
Oh, the
Is it
next
somewhere
line
else?
down, so
Next
the
line
second
down.
line, third
Oh,
word
it's the
over.
second time it's
Yeah.
written, okay,
I mean, as I said, minor problem.
yeah. No problem. It's a plural, thank you.
Any other edits or
I think that was it,
clarification?
yeah.
That was it? Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes from April 9th as amended?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. And now the second set from, do I hear a motion for May 21st, 2024, although it says 2023 in the file name.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. Are there any edits or clarifications on this set?
I think
I
these
think these
are
are
okay.
okay.
I'm good.
Good, okay. All those in favor of approving the May 21st as submitted?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. All right, moving on to the police union contract. So this was, the contract that, bring it up on the screen. The negotiation team, Teamsters, negotiated with some edits. Jackie, do you have, which article numbers there? Because I don't remember the article numbers themselves.
I have it right here.
And Devon's here, can answer questions too, I believe.
I think the first change was in Article 6.
Okay,
Intermittent officers shall receive an allowance of 400 per officer per year.
so this is the uniform allowance. So that was changed for full-time, part-time, and then intermittent officers, changing the allowance based on the hours so that they worked in the department. Correct, Devon? I get that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Sorry.
And then we had another one further down for hourly wages. Was the next one? Or did I skip?
Is that before paragraph 80?
That is paragraph 8.
Okay, good.
So this paragraph that was negotiated was the change in language for part-time employment being a minimum of 32 hours per month on an annual basis, intermittent employment less than 32 hours per month on an annual basis, and clarifications of employment for full-time, part-time, intermediate requires appointment by the select board. Okay, all right. And the next one is at bottom page 9, it was paragraph 90. This was an adjustment in the wages and classifications. The chart was redone to meet the market. It was market. We did it on market.
We did, it's, what it represents is a 10.33% in changes to a more limited, it's not step-based anymore. We're only identifying the full-time, the part-time, and the intermittent officers for those years,
The years of the contract.
for the years of the contract. And if an officer were to start in 2027, they would begin at year 1 and move across.
And then did you have questions there?
Well, just related to paragraph 96 mentions a step increase.
Then we
So
need to edit that.
that seemed
Yeah.
wrong to me, that's why I circled the
Thank you.
little question mark and yellow and red and all that stuff. I didn't see any of those step increases.
That's the Bridge Academy officers will receive an additional step rate.
I think as the Bridge Academy will no longer be offered.
Right, because everybody will have gone through it. Kristen, right, the Bridge Academy it's
Yeah,
done.
this is out. We
Right.
want to strike this.
Strike the whole
96
Devin,
paragraph.
do you agree with striking that out since the Bridge Academy is no longer?
Yes, I agree.
As our union steward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. We'll take out 96, and then the other one
Okay.
above that 93 that was already stricken, we had stricken that out in
Right.
our conversations. And the other part, we added Juneteenth to the holidays in paragraph 21 to match up with the town holidays. And then private duty details in paragraph 170. There was quite a lot of language there. To sum it up, it was partly to establish a private duty detail fund and a rolling revolving fund with a balance of $25,000 so that the officers could get paid until a vendor paid the detail amount back to the town. So the and I think Rita and Eric, you remember that agreement?
Yeah,
that
we
had
talked
done?
about that at the last meeting, that I think at
Right.
town meeting, the next town meeting,
Yep,
we would,
at the next town meeting.
Yeah.
Special or otherwise. And then this one includes, oh, the rate went to $60. I think I'm forgetting something else. I'm just gonna scan it real quick.
We also struck paragraph 93.
Yep. I think that's pretty much all of the
Right.
changes. Does anyone have any questions? Rita, Eric?
no,
No.
I'm good.
It changes, basically like what changes from the last contract.
Yeah, these are
Okay.
these are the ones that we, yeah,
Okay,
otherwise
okay.
it remained
Yeah.
in bulk the same. These are the ones that we worked
Yep.
on as a team together.
Yep.
Okay, do I hear a motion to accept the contract between the town of Shutesbury and the Teamsters Local 404 with our police department?
So moved.
Second.
No further questions, I don't think, so all in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
Peace O'Neill, aye. Thank you, Devin. Devin was the steward and part of that negotiation. The next thing on our list is promotion of Officer Pelletier. Kristen, do you want to jump in?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I would love to. I apologize. My voice is coming and going. I ended my vacation with a fantastic cold. Over the past couple of years that Devin has worked for the department, I have seen incredible growth in him. He is always willing to hear the areas that he could improve on, and he jumps on those improvements as quickly as they're brought to his attention. He has learned the ways of leadership that I find to be very important. And in fact, I gave Officer Pelletier an assignment. I asked him to write me a to from, which is in the police world, just a letter of what his style of leadership is. And I emphasized that I did not want him to take this task on to impress me, but to dig deep. And I can tell you, he really dug deep. And I have it in front of me. There's just a couple of things that I'd like to draw to not only your attention, but the residents of this town that he has really shown to love and be a part of. And Officer Pelletier described his leadership as a balance between strategic leadership and servant leadership. And he goes on to describe his strategic leadership skills in that he wants to look forward into the future in preparation. And as a servant leader, he knows that it is so very important to put your team first. He goes on to talk about it's important to create a culture where not only are we serving the town, but we're making sure we have a good work-life balance. And that's something that's really important to me with the team as well. I have all the confidence that Officer Pelletier will not let us all down. He will be an incredible sergeant. I've seen some major growth with him. And one thing that I always say when it comes to Devin is you hand him the job and he gets it done, sometimes to his own detriment. He won't be paying attention to what he might need. He just wants to get it done for the sake of the department and the residents in town. We've built a really great department here. I want to keep it flourishing. And as you all know, it's important to me to prepare the next generation of leaders. And I think this is the next step in that. So I'd really like to promote Officer Pelletier and have him start that promotion as of July 1, if you will appoint him.
Do we have any questions or anything for
Well,
Kristen?
sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay, do I hear a motion to appoint Officer Devin Pelletier to Sergeant Pelletier as of July 1st, 2024?
So moved, and thank you, Devin, and thank you, Kristen, for that description.
Second.
Second that.
Second.
All in favor? of
Farrell, aye.
promoting-
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Thank you both very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a good evening.
You
You
too.
too.
Feel
Feel
better.
better.
Hope you feel better.
Okay, now going back to the appointment for the new Lake Stormwater Task Force. Okay, I know we received a list. I'm gonna jump to it. Moment. I wasn't that far down. Is that it? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I saw that list. I was wondering what this was.
And there was one other one that she heard from. Okay, so Jennifer, we have the list of appointees. Would you like to give them, or would you like me to read them? Just their names is fine. You're on mute.
Okay, so you would like me to read their names?
Yes, so just for those who are here that may not remember or attend our last meeting, we did establish a rainwater, or stormwater, sorry, task force for Lake Wyola area roads and to look and do some research for us. So this is appointing them to that task force.
Okay, so just a little preamble is that, these are, I didn't intend that this was an exhaustive list and was hoping that the select board might want to appoint a representative too, and also might have their own ideas. But these are people who I've talked to, and Mark Rivers and I have thought they would make a good addition. So of course, there's myself. Stephen Sullivan has already said that he's really interested in, he watched the meetings leading up to this and he is interested and wants to serve. Tracy McNaughton, who lives at Lake Wyola, is a former member of both LWAC and the Roads Committee. Joe Salvador, also a Lake Wyola resident, has a lot of expertise in road maintenance. Charlene Galinsky is on the board of the Lake Wyola Association and also a resident. Jim Moore is a seasonal resident and also a member of the board. Chris Cummings, also seasonal and also a member of the board. Tom Seifert is an associate member of the planning board and also a lake resident. I thought his contributions to fine tuning the document were really spot on, and he'd be a good addition. Some of these people I know are be really good at research. Others have more, road expertise. Others are good process people. So it seemed like a good mix. I put select board representative to be determined, hoping that one of you would think that it was a great idea. There's one name missing from this list who had, I can't let you see my screen. Bob Douglas of Concom, and also a Lake Wyola resident who has engineering experience and is familiar with the MVP grant. He's been a Concom member in other towns in the in the Commonwealth, and he is interested in serving too. So please add his name to the list, Bob Douglas. And those are the names that I've come up with.
And how many is that in total? I don't have the list in front of me. How
Yeah,
many
let
is
me
that?
just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10 with the
Okay.
select board.
9, 10. But does that include Bob?
I wrote
Okay.
them down.
So that's 10, including someone from the select board.
Well, I'd nominate Eric to serve on it.
Come on, Eric. Come on.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
beat you. I beat you
gonna
to the
have a-
punch, Eric.
We're gonna have a ball.
Right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Great, thanks,
Hey,
Eric.
Eric.
I was gonna say the Concom is obviously, very obviously to me, missing on this, and so I think Bob Douglas is a great addition to that list.
Right. He confirmed his participation after I sent the list on, so. All right, good. So Eric and Bob are on there. Does that make 11?
No, that still makes 10.
That makes 10, I
Well, 10 is
believe.
good.
10 is good.
2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Yeah, I think so. So, select board members, how would we like to do this? Do we want to do it each individually, or do we want to do a motion with all their names included in one motion? How would you guys like?
I'm fine with doing all the names in one motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll read it from the list. So do I hear a motion to appoint Jennifer Wallace, Steve Sullivan, Tracy McNaughton, Joe Salvador, Charlene Galinsky, Jim Moore, Chris Cummings, Tom Seifert, Eric Stocker, and Bob Douglas to the Stormwater Task Force?
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion?
No, it sounds like a great group of people, Jennifer. Thanks for pulling that together.
Okay, well, we're going to get to work now. Thank you very much.
All those in favor?
Farrell, aye.
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Thank you. Good job. I'll hold on to that. Let's move on to the review vote of the FY annual appointment list, FY 25 annual appointment list. There's 2 in here. Which one's the most up to date? The one of this afternoon? Yeah. Posted, okay.
There's a printed one if you need it.
All right. Would this be helpful to have up online probably? Share, do we want to share it, select board
Yeah,
members?
I think that would be good.
We will do that. Give me a moment. I don't know if it'll do it this way. Let's try it. Nope. Hold on.
Oh, it's up top there on the left.
No, it's not.
That's the agenda.
No, I have to put it on the second screen.
All right.
And then I have to share my second screen. This is one of the things when you have to dual screen share. Can everybody see that? Because I can only see.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move you guys from the bottom. You don't need to be at the bottom. I want you over here. Okay. All right, so here's the annual appointment list for anyone who is new to seeing this. This is all of the boards, employees that are appointed by the select board each year. Some are 3-year terms, some are yearly. So this is our list. So how would we like to go through doing this? Do we want to look through it and then maybe
Page by page.
ponder a
maybe.
motion? Okay. Ponder a motion to do it all at once or individually. So I'll leave that up to you guys.
Do it all at once, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Rita, did you have a preference of doing it all at once?
Yeah, I think we could do it all at once. The only one I had noticed, and I don't know if it got updated right before the meeting, was Jackie Mendoza was on the emergency management, and she's leaving
Oh.
Shutesbury. So I was assuming we weren't going to be.
Ann McGill. So we'll, if you can take the edit of replacing Jacqueline Mendonza with Ann McGill.
And with an E?
I think so, but I've seen it written in emails both ways, so.
All right, we'll
I
highlight.
think it's with an E, because that's how it was in the big newsletter.
Highlight. Okay, there we go. All right, was there anything else that we wanted to glance at?
The only other question I had was like on the Conservation Commission, just for point of clarification. I mean, I've read somewhere that someone like Bob Douglas can't be on it. I'm not saying he shouldn't be, I'm not advocating that, but is it true? It's apparently not true.
It is not
It's
true.
not true.
It's
Okay.
not true if the town, it is not true if the town adopts the appropriate legislation, which we did. And I'm
Okay.
sorry, at the moment, I failed to
Okay, no,
remember
that's all I need to know.
the MGL, but we have gone through this a couple times now because of this changes
Okay.
on Concom, but you're not.
Okay, good, that's good, better.
Bob is
question.
able to be an appointee.
Anything else? Why are these highlighted?
Those are highlighted because they have very unusual term adjustments. So you'll see the first three, their terms all end by October 16th of this year. And one of them doesn't get a new term because it says they can only go 2 3-year terms, and then they have to take a year off. So I highlighted them and I emailed the chair of the committee to alert her to the timing of what is required of her membership.
So we probably will be looking at this again in October.
Well, maybe
Or
not the
some-
whole thing, but we'll
these
have
ones.
potentially new members.
Okay.
One new member to be appointed for Rory, and the other 2 should be reappointments.
Okay. Let's see, McGill, and was there anything else?
The other highlighted ones are the planning board associate members. Unfortunately, I had originally connected with Nate and told him the dates of our meeting and the time, but he didn't get the agenda posted for this time, so
So
we're
we-
gonna have to do that at the next meeting. We'll have to do the associate members at the next scheduled select board meeting.
So we're minusing off the associate members, we're putting
Yeah.
board and the cultural council. Sorry.
And the town administrator.
Okay. Alright, so all those will be handled in future. Okay, anything else?
And we'll probably, on July, we'll need to change the superintendent, because the new superintendent will start July 1. So I'm sorry, I didn't have her name. I haven't been able to find it.
Okay, alright. Alright, we're at the end, I think, right?
Yes,
Alright,
ZBA.
ZB. Okay. Alright, do I hear a motion? Do we want to appoint, I guess we have to, because this is our last meeting for the year, and we won't meet until the 9th of July. So I guess we do have to appoint, except the ones that we just took out, which was superintendent, town administrator, associate on the planning board, and the appointments to the cultural council that were highlighted.
Yeah, those were just highlighted for.
Oh, okay.
for
Oh, right,
your-
they're
you
not
wanna-
running out,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So
they're not
the
coming out.
other 3, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Do I hear a motion to approve the appointed, Shutesbury appointed officials list, except for superintendent, town administrator, and associate on the planning board to be done at a later date.
So moved.
Second.
Right? Any further questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Carol, I.
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Okay. Let me stop sharing. Stop share. Bring you guys back up. And we now move on to ECAC. We're not going to Google Calendar. Select Board letter to legislators.
You want to put that on the screen?
Yeah, I can put it on the screen.
Okay.
I just have to swing it over and do the same thing. Share screen, number 2, swoop. So we, at our last meeting for the public letter here, we did meet and talk about in our all boards meeting about our trials and benefits, such of different formats of meeting, hybrid, in person, or Zoom. We have learned that there's many things bouncing around the state legislature that do have these things connected. So out of that meeting, the select board decided to write to our senators and let them know what our concerns were, being from a small rural town, and the issues we felt we had. Some of those were tech issues, access issues, and everything in between. Financial, yeah, financial issues, because equipment is not cheap. So, so these are the bills that are currently going through and working their way through their various stages. And these are the ones that we were addressing in our letter. Does either of the select board members have questions, or?
It looked good to me.
Rita, did you have
Yep,
any?
no, it looks good.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Having, I do see one slight.
This one is not like that.
Oh, okay. Just popped up. You
Type-
did.
Yeah,
Where?
there's a comma for.
Top typo, it says.
I mean, I saw a missing comma and an hour, and it shouldn't be there in the first
Okay,
sentence.
show me, where did you see
In the
it?
very first sentence, we are writing to you to express our support for Senate Bill 2021 and our express, and to express our opposition, or and our opposition. I think express is extra. To express our support and
That
our
came from
opposition.
Rita. I don't know if you want to change it.
If you just read it.
Rita, would you like to change it or keep it as it is?
Whatever.
Express.
I like to express opposition, but we can take it out if you want to.
If you express twice, I was like, are you? Fine, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay leaving that in, yeah.
Maybe a comma after bills in the second paragraph.
Comma after,
Bills.
speak up a second, comma.
After bills, the town clerk provided an overview of all the bills of all the.
Oh, yeah, list of all, so that does have comma, okay.
Could you fix comma for take out the R? Thank you.
No, it is Comerford. It's Comerford.
Sorry.
I'm gonna change this to
So
black.
you added the R, Rita.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, that will go black. Why won't that go dark?
I don't know.
All right. So do I hear a motion to sign and send this letter to Senator Comerford and Representative Saunders?
So moved.
Second.
I can't find it, right? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Carol, I.
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. We'll sign it before the end of the.
Yeah, there's some other stuff.
All right, let me stop sharing this one and move on to our next item, which is, Legislators, open medium law violation dated May 8th, 2024 response letter. So I will pull this up too. All right, is it the one that was done this afternoon? There's two in here. One is done at 3:32 p.m. today, and the other one was Friday.
I would go with the newer one. Yeah, because the old one is the complaint
Yeah, I see
itself,
that
it's
now.
not the letter.
Okay. Now let me pull this over here, and I will share. Share. So this is a response to an open meeting law complaint dated May 8th, 2024, in which we had listed, oh, here we go, thank you. The notice that we had posted for April 23rd, the meeting agenda was insignificant in that it did not include the names of individuals to be interviewed or actually appointed to the Conservation Commission or the person to be appointed to the Council on Aging. This is our response letter to that. I think I see a typo. Anyway.
2 alls.
There's 2 alls there, yeah.
Great, thank you for that.
Yeah, so I'll toss that up. Was there, and did the select board get to read through this letter, and did we have any adjustments to it other than the first one that I just made? The 2 alls.
No, that was good.
Just highlighted it. Eric, you just highlighted it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's me?
That's you, because I'm in it and you're in it at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there should be a comma after the date. Okay. Rita or Eric, do you have any questions or discussion further on this?
No?
Okay. All those in favor of signing and sending this letter to Amanda Alex with a copy to the Attorney General's office?
Do we need a motion, Melissa, or just a vote?
That's what I just asked, yep. Oh, my name only has 1 L. Someone keeps sneaking 2 L's on there. Okay, do I hear a motion to
So moved.
sign and
And
take?
this. Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Farrell, aye.
Docker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Just give me 1 little second. Oops.
That was Brian that spells it with 2 L's. I copied and pasted and
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, I have a funny story about that. It actually is spelled with 2 L's for some of the members of the family. Okay, so moving on to, Becky, you'll print that so we can sign that. The new version?
Yeah.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a period after Reed Farrell, co-chair, select board.
Oh, thank you.
Just saying.
Nope, you're right. Nope.
Minor problems.
Well, yes, but we want it to look nice, right? So, okay. I will stop share. That it should be in there. Let me just go to the Google.
Yeah.
And we're now on to the town administrator FY25 goals and objectives. So we had a little bit of homework as the select board was to come up with some goals and objectives. For Becky, we've talked about performance reviews, but we're adding some of these things for the year going forward. So Rita and Eric, what kind of objectives and goals did we have for Becky? Rita, I don't know if you want more of an introduction than that, or Eric.
No, I just have to look back at some of my notes. So if Eric can start.
I think just sort of the timeliness of the, some of the postings for meetings, that was one thing I thought of, but that's pretty minor.
What are you saying?
Well, like I know some meetings didn't get posted that should have got posted. I remember when I was in the Lakeway, all the committees, Lakeway, we were supposed to, I mean, what committee was it? But the meetings didn't get posted.
No.
No, not the other, what committee was
That's
it?
not even my responsibility.
They were, because I can't do it, and we can't do it.
Yeah, we can't post any.
No, maybe we gotta change the way that works, but we can't do it. We can't post a meeting. It was about the dam
So
committee
you
last
would
year.
like to be able to post your meetings? Which would be fine, many chairs post their meetings.
Right, okay, that's fine, that would solve the
But that
problem.
was,
So this is supposed to be kind of a back and forth, right? I mean, it's both from us and from you, Becky, as to what goals and objectives you have. So I have some notes about some things that I would like to have you focus on, and one of them is training and delegation. So that has to do with new staff that's being brought on that's directly under your supervision. Another one is document management, and that is making sure that files are up to date, that stuff is getting filed. I guess under document management, I would also, maybe it's not document management, but just processing of invoices and sort of how that happens, and making that a more streamlined process. And then I think the other one is just is time management. I think, this is a position that has a tremendous number of demands, and I think there's got to be prioritization and delegation sometimes, because I think, Becky, you take on too much, and there are instances, certainly over the course of the last couple of years, where I felt that you were doing things that should have been done by somebody else. And I would, use as an example that comes right off the top of my head is the amount of work that was delegated to you to deal with PFAS. Everything from delivering water to being present when there was installation of the POET systems. And I think that could have been delegated. It should have been delegated.
I am not present. Okay.
The one thing that I had thought about adding to the list is an organization, and I sort of mean like advanced planning. So looking ahead, a month, 2 months, 3 months to know what's coming down. And I think to work toward posting our meetings prior to 48 hours in advance with an agenda mostly put together, and limit the changes after we've posted if we can. And then with that goes giving us the documents as soon as we know it's going to pop on a meeting at some point, so we can start looking at them even as soon as they're available to look at for questions that we might have.
So Becky, have you given any thought to what you think?
Yes, I prepared my goal statement that I was going to review with you about 6 weeks ago, but then that plan did not move forward. So I will read to you what I had prepared. So the way this is supposed to work, it's supposed to be a conversation between the chair and the town administrator. This select board chose to do the whole select board, which is a different format. So not as relaxed as we're all at a formal open session meeting. So the first category is long-term goals. I identified promoting civic engagement through education, making sure that departments were able to do workshops ahead of big decisions when they're working on new things, especially the boards and committees like the planning board, the work they did to get information out about their 2 projects, about their, that are very helpful to the public. They worked hard to get information out. One of my goals is to build a framework that will make sure that the open meeting law and committee practices and committee responsibilities are clear to all committees at the beginning of the year. We have had quite a few occasions where open meeting law has not been followed. So the focus would be on making sure roles and responsibilities of town officials are kept up to date. My primary goals have to do with revenues and investments, lowering tax rates, increased services, higher quality of life for our community. Much of my work is focused on the budget. I want to encourage ongoing formal communications between employees and their evaluators so that we can get we can learn a lot from each other and encourage growth coming out of an evaluation. An evaluation is not supposed to be just a list of shortcomings. It's supposed to be goals that we aspire to. And I am hopeful, to achieve these things that the select board is focused on. I don't think time management is the appropriate element. I think I prioritize things quite a bit. I think the burden on this position is enormous. I think each and every new select board has a different set of expectations. So it's like having revolving bosses. Over the years, I think I've had about 15 different bosses.
Okay, yeah.
And it's always, a challenge to try to understand people and know and build relationships so you know that you're servicing them as much as possible. I do strive to do that. I find that the more a select board member communicates with me openly about concerns they have, helps build my ability to understand what their needs are. My major goal for this year is to complete the evaluations for the department heads and the financial people. But I have kept up over the years, over the last 2 or 3 years that have been for various sets of reasons, very, very busy. And I have not gotten to the evaluations of the department heads. I am working on it now. But we have successfully replaced the 3 major department heads over these 3 years. We have most recently, a new highway superintendent. Prior to that, we had a new fire chief who's come on board, and prior to that, a new police chief. So this has been a time of change, and I have worked and spent my time always having my door open to the questions of these new department heads to try to make sure that their performance is as high as possible. And that will be my continued goal. And I'm sorry for, I ended up grabbing, I'm sorry if I don't have more to share right now. This is an unusual format. And I guess we'll have, if we can have another session after I write specific responses to the things that you all have brought up, that would be helpful.
I'll just step in. I think, Becky, the goals that you outlined they're good goals, and I think some of what you already do. I think some of our concerns were on more specifically your management of your tasks and duties, and not so much outwardly of other committees and such, although those are important too. I'm not discounting them. But I think that's where our ideas of goals and objectives were, unless I'm missing that. I don't know if that was what we were really focused on, was more specifically Becky, or, but these are important as well. Do you have any ideas on how you might work the things that we said into the goals that you have just given us?
I've already, as far as the document management, Melissa, I know that's an area where you have expertise and I don't. I've taken one short workshop on Google Docs, and there are a number of other things I found. There are not, I've talked to a few people about finding time management courses, and looked for some myself and have not found any. So I think I'll have to brainstorm that one myself on how to approach it. As far as, Rita, I guess you were alluding to situations that arise in accounting where I'm responsible for all the payments on the credit card and things like that, where there's multiple people involved that I've been trying to track, and where the payments, the credit card has a very small, it has about a $1,200 limit, and we sometimes run into trouble where sometimes bills don't get reported and then it stops working. That has been an ongoing problem that I will work to address and have been working to address. As you all know, with Geneva gone, as far as bill paying, I have stepped back in to try to make sure those payments are up to date and kept up to date. I appreciate Geneva being back helping with some things. She has not, in the few hours she has available, they haven't been in that area of bill paying. But I will work to improve my skills, to make sure that expectations are met in the future.
Eric or Rita, do you either have any other, I know we were gonna formalize this in a list of some sort, so I have notes here, I can certainly go back and do that.
Yeah, I think it would make sense to take Becky's written comments, our suggestions, and see if we could come up with one document, and if if it makes sense for one of us to meet with you, Becky, we could do that before it comes back to the select board.
Yes, I think that would make a lot of sense, because I'm sorry, there was another section that was more immediate in response to yours that I don't have at my fingertips, so it would be helpful to go through that with you also. It can be added into your evaluation.
Okay, I'll sit down with the recording of this to make sure I catch everything. Becky, if you have those written, and I have my notes, so I'll put it together, and then, does that sound okay, Rita?
Yeah, that sounds fine. And then Melissa, do you or Eric, do one of you want to sit down with Becky? You want me to do it? Whatever. That's up to you guys.
One of you two should do that.
Yeah, I think Rita, you and I have taken up the kind of the thing with all of that stuff. So I mean, I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So I'll get this together in the next couple of days, if that works.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to town administrator updates.
Last week, I was going back and forth to formalize the return of MAS building. The contractors that did the culvert will be sending out their landscaper to redo the grass in areas around the culvert. I've asked him to come out to do that, as the way it's growing in is completely inadequate. They will be spraying compost and then spreading seed. And afterwards, for 7 days, our highway department will be keeping it wet. Once that type of the seed is put down, it can't be allowed to dry out. The hydro seeding can't dry out or it's ruined. So luckily our highway department has the equipment. They have a 250-gallon tank to be able to do that.
Becky, are there any issues with the Conservation Commission? Do they have to be notified if that's happening? Just curious. Don't want to.
Not one that I would think of, but I will touch base with Beth and raise your concern.
It's probably just, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, they're not touching any trees. They're just fortifying, and I think that this is an action that Concom would support, and that needs to get done. So I can't.
They're working in a sensitive area, so.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did email Beth after I talked to him last week. He said it is not a problem.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you.
Anything on PFAS or gasoline cleanup that we have?
No, we're still working to get the 2 new wells in on the Watkins, not the Watkins, on the Valentine property. That's ongoing. That needs to get done soon. We have the Council on Aging is stepping up to the plate and becoming very active. They had their first luncheon last week. In preparation for that, I had assistance in getting the kitchen cleaned, all the boxes and things we had stored in there cleaned out. And then we had some more help cleaning out the Council on Aging room itself. We still have 900 face masks. If anybody needs face masks, please let us know. I have a call in to CMRK at Mary Ann's suggestion to find out if they might take them. They took all the leftovers from the tag sale, and they might take them. We're trying to find a home where they're huge. There's like 10 boxes this big. So we're hoping to get rid of those. And
could we offer them to people in town if there are people who want face masks?
They're not face masks. They're face shields. They're plastic shields.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the thing we used 10 of, and they're still in the drawer over there, and never needed them again. So we have 1,000.
Okay.
So getting rid of that will help. But the Council on Aging is stepping it up. They had their first book clinic back in Town Hall on Wednesday. Unfortunately, they picked a holiday, but we're going to use that to our advantage. As everyone knows, the heat is going to be very high for this entire week. That being the case, this room will be open throughout the week. We're not sure about Friday. We have a conflict on Friday and we'll have to close. But
Well, the hottest day's supposed to
Tuesday,
be Thursday.
yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday till 2, and then Thursday this will be a cooling center for everyone. And that.
Do you need anyone to sit here while it's open?
I would really appreciate somebody on Wednesday.
Okay, because I can work from here. It's not a problem. So I can,
The-
what hours is it open?
It's open from 9 to, I could open up, if you could come from 2 to 5, we've got, or even earlier, because the nursing program will be in that room, the foot clinic will be operating, so
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah,
can
yeah.
come and hang out. But they leave at 1, if you wanted to come after 1, it would be helpful. Then we could keep it open. Right now, I've only scheduled keeping it open till 1.
1 to 5.
Yeah, because it's a holiday, so
Yeah, let me just make sure 5 works. Hold on.
sure. 1 to 4 maybe?
It might have to be 1 to 4.
That would be
Nikki,
very
I'm double checking on the Friday meeting. It is happening. I just don't know the exact time. So,
I can do
Okay.
4:30, Becky.
great. That's great. So that could, now we can, if Wednesday's longer, I think by Friday, people will have maybe found good places to go. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes we get 10 people, sometimes we get nobody, so we just don't know. Wednesday, 4:30, and Friday we can't do. Okay,
Yeah.
those are my updates.
Okay. So the select board itself is gonna transition into an executive session. So we need to, no, this is tied into a regular meeting, so we can just go into an executive session, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
you
okay.
need is to vacate the
Yep.
room, and you already, and John Mollis is the only one left.
So,
So I'm gonna
Do-
prepare this pile of things you need to sign.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Tom.
leave it on the table upstairs for you.
Yeah.
Is that good?
yeah, works.
And we'll need to,
Becky, can you use my stamp on any of those?
sure,
The letter,
Okay.
probably, yeah.
Because I'm not back till Wednesday morning.
okay.
Okay.
Unless there's anything you need a wet signature for, and then I could do it on Wednesday. Oh, no, Wednesday's a holiday, right?
Well, you could still sneak in if you.
Yeah.
The door's gonna be open.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I don't have a
Let
holiday
me,
on
let me know if there's anything I need to come in for.
Okay, so
Sorry, I'm
That's okay.
almost out.
well, we have to go through our process, so do I hear a motion for, going into an executive session, not to return to open session?
So moved.
Wait a second, we gotta do more, for reason number 2.
You want to
Yeah,
read
sorry.
that? You just read.
Yeah, I
what
can
you-
read that. To conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiation with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, in this case, the town administrator. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. John, we're gonna have to remove you from our meeting when we go into executive session. John?
Can you just take him out?
Yeah,
And the recording is stopped?
it will in a second. Okay, we just need to have the recorded vote. So all in favor of going into executive session? Roll
Farrell,
call vote.
aye. Farrell, aye.
Walker,
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. So I'm going to stop recording now.